Hey guys, this is Joey from the Crystal Casino Band. Last video that I did, which was I guess 2 videos ago, seemed to be very positively received. We got a lot of follow-up questions, and a lot of good emails, so I'm going to do a Joey-specific Q&A. Pete emailed over some questions for me to answer. It sounds like they're sort of specific to drums and or specific to just me as a person. Just kind of a cool opportunity to sort of spotlight myself. So yeah, here we go. Hopefully you'll learn a few new things about me. So the first question we have here, who is your favorite drummer? That is a pretty tough question. You have legends like, Buddy Rich, who's probably the greatest drummer of all time, in my estimation. Carter Beauford from Dave Matthews Band is definitely an inspiration for me in my playing style. I think, or currently, my favorite drummer would have to be Eric Slick from the rock group Dr. Dog. He actually just released his own album where he's singing and playing guitar, which you should definitely check out. But he's a very talented drummer, very talented musician overall. Where does the Hollywood Joe name come from? There's not a real deep backstory to the Hollywood Joe nickname. It just sort of encapsulates my personality and my persona. Is Ringo Starr an underrated drummer? I would say yes, he is. I think it's sort of a common joke that Ringo Starr is not a very good drummer, but in reality, I think his contribution to the genre of rock and roll and rock drumming, and really just drumming and percussion in general, cannot be overlooked. So, I think any drummer would agree, but I think as far as the mainstream is concerned, or the general public, I should say, I think he's underrated. How did you meet Jarrod Hendricks? Interesting question. Essentially, Jarrod and I were co-workers. Probably at this point it's been 2 years, and we obviously became friends through that job that we had. We worked for the university, George Washington University, basically moving furniture around all day. Jarrod didn't join the band until we had graduated from college. We basically just, had been connected in that way with our former job, and then enough people had recommended that we jam with Jarrod. One thing led to another. He's in the band now, so interesting question. Who do you think will win the NBA championship? I think it's sort of hard to predict because of just how odd the season is. I think the Bucks obviously are a very talented team. The Clippers obviously have title aspirations, but I gotta roll with LeBron James and the Lakers. Huge LeBron James fan. I think the talent and the experience are both so great for that team. So, I gotta go with the Lakers. How would you describe Jarrod's fashion sense, and how would you compare it to your own? I don't really know how I would describe Jarrod's fashion sense. I could speak to my own fashion. I would definitely classify it a lot of athleisure. I wear a lot of sweatshirts, hoodies, sweatpants. I really just like to be comfortable first and foremost. And then if I can find some very comfortable sweats or something like that also looks good, that's definitely what I'm going to roll with. How tall is Jarrod Hendricks? It's not really, it doesn't really have anything to do with me. I don't know how tall Jarrod is. I think he's a little shorter than me. I'm about 6 feet tall, so maybe he's 5'10", 5'11". I guess we'll just go to the next question. What does Jarrod eat for dinner? Again, I don't really know. I don't really know how that is a question specifically for me. I think I've seen Jarrod eat salad. So, a salad, I guess. How many instruments does Jarrod Hendricks play? I don't know. I personally play 5 or 6 instruments. I play bass, guitar, drums, piano. I play the saxophone, trumpet. So I certainly have a diverse collection of musical instruments that I can play. Jarrod, I think, plays guitar and bass, but I really don't. I really don't know. What gauge of guitar strings does Jarrod Hendricks use? I don't even know where to begin with this question. I'm just gonna move on to the next one. Okay, next question. What color is Jarrod's and why? I mean, obviously we can't use any of that. I sort of wish I had never read that. So we're just gonna move on. Who is Jarrod's favorite underrated artist? I don't. Again, I feel like I've probably said this a number of times. I don't really know the answer to that question. It really seems like it would be a better question to ask Jarrod. So maybe if we're doing like a Jarrod specific Q&A, you could ask him that question. So as far as my favorite underrated artist, I think someone like Shaky Graves, I feel like isn't necessarily on everyone's radar. The Districts are another band that I've been a fan of for a long time that aren't necessarily huge. What is Jarrod's favorite mathematical theorem? I mean, it's not even really like a question I can even proxy the answer to, because I don't think people really have favorite mathematical theorems. So yeah. Okay, just gonna stop there because every question sort of got worse and worse. I sort of feel as though I wasted my time a little bit just now doing this. I think I'm going to sign off. Thank you for submitting some of those questions, especially the questions that were specific to me. I don't know if this was intentionally done. I'm just going to throw it over to Pete. He's going to say a few things to you. Signing off, this is Joey from the Crystal Casino Band. We'll see you in the next video.